Today's class, we will be attempting to do the King Pigeon pose, where you're going to need to have some loose hip flexors as well as quad stretching. You have the option to use blocks. I would recommend using a strap for today's practice. If you don't have a yogi strap, you can just use a belt or something that you have laying around at home. So let's get started using our blocks in a T position. So the bottom one is facing up and down, and the top one is going horizontal, making a letter T. You want to place those so that your shoulder blades will rest on the one that is facing up and down, and then your head will rest on the one that is going side to side. You want to make sure that one in between the shoulder blades isn't too far down the back or making your lower back uncomfortable, so do adjust it as needed. And once you find a comfortable position, go ahead and just sort of melt into the mat, melt into that block, really letting your shoulder blades sort of drape or waterfall sort of over the sides of, or the corners of the block can really get into some of the nooks and crannies of some of those shoulder muscles. And for today's King Pigeon pose, we might even attempt to do a slight back bend as you need to reach up and overhead to grab your foot. So really trying to open up through the chest, opening up through the collarbones, feeling the shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Let's take a deep breath in, breathing in that nice warm air, having the lungs expand, and then maybe even feeling the belly, and then push it away the same way it came in, belly, chest. All right, now let's go ahead and sit up just so that we can remove our T blocks. Hopefully feeling a little bit more loose in through the chest and the upper back. Now plant your feet, roll on down onto your back. I'm gonna do a few bridges here. So plant the hands, push up, lifting the sitting bones. Try not to over squeeze the glutes, really lifting with the quads, lifting with the front part of the body. Then go ahead and set it down. This time, let's lift up. Maybe you want to find a bind while we're in one of these bridges. You're more than welcome. Let's set it down. Let's do one more quick bridge with the breath, inhaling up. Hold the breath. Full exhale, and then set it down. Let's come over to our left. Using our hand or our elbows sort of like a pillow, let's reach and grab that foot so that we can start stretching out those quads. We don't necessarily want to back bend here, so just be sure that you are engaging the core, keeping the spine in a straight line. Now let's roll back onto our backs. We're going to do a couple more bridges here. So inhaling, lifting the sitting bones, raising the hands up overhead, really stretching toward the back of the mat. And then exhale, set it on down, bring the hands back down towards the mat. A couple more of these here. Inhaling up, reaching up overhead, feel the shoulder blades push into the ground. And then exhale, reset, set it on back down. Last one, inhaling up. And resetting that bridge. Now let's come on over to the right side. Get that other quad stretched out here. Reaching for the foot. A nice gentle way. We're not trying to pull it back or keep it out of line with our body. Very good. Let's come on back and then sit on up or roll up and find a tabletop position. We're going to do just a few cat and cows here real quick with the with the breath. So inhale, let's drop the belly, bring the tailbone up, lifting the chin. Exhale, pushing the floor away with the hands, rounding through the shoulders, tucking the tailbone. Inhale once more. And exhale. Let's do one more just to keep everything in a nice 3 count. Inhale. And exhale. Now spin the right foot out, straighten that left leg and bring that left hand on up and maybe slide it behind your back into the small of your back. Really rotate that shoulder up and back, opening up through the pec, front of the chest. And if you can, really dig into the thumb and index side of the hand, start to balance on the knee. Once you have found some balance, do you think that you could reach back and add a quad stretch to this pose? Beautiful. Multiple things at once, balance and quads. All right, let's set it back on down and let's do everything on the other side. So swinging the left foot out, bringing the right foot out straight, hands up, and then resting it in the small of your back. Remember to drop that shoulder blade closer toward the other one, bringing the rhomboids closer together. Really feeling that squeeze right here. And then let's find the balance, pushing into the hand. Found your balance. Let's reach back and grab that foot nice and gentle. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let's come back down to tabletop. Push up into plank and back into down dog. On your next inhale, let's look up towards your hands and exhale, step up. Inhale, halfway rise, nice long flat spine. And exhale, release, let it go. Root into all 4 corners of your feet, lifting your body up overhead. Slight back bend at the top here, bringing the palms together. And then exhale, mountain pose. Going right into another sun A. Let's lift the hands up overhead. Inhale. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, plant the hands. And then let's just step the right leg back. We're gonna come into a runner's lunge here. Really try to feel the stretch in through the hip flexors. Taking a deep breath in, you're going to elongate the spine, really feel the energy through the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, you want to feel your hips sort of pull down towards the ground as they loosen. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now let's plant the knee, untuck the toes, and maybe kind of come up to rest a little bit on your front thigh here. Do you think that you can then reach back and add a quad stretch in here? Trying to pull that right hip forward to keep our hips nice and in line with the side of the mats. Very good. Let go. Come on down. Bring the left foot back to the right. And here we're going to do a pec stretch. So let's come on over to the left. Bringing the body out to the left, the upper body out to the left side. 90-degree angle. And then let's go ahead and rotate over. Feeling a stretch in through the front part of our chest. Some people can get their bottom foot all the way down to the floor. Whereas others might not be able to quite get it that far. Very good. Now let's come back to center. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way for this next one. We're going to bring our hands both at 90-degree angles into a cactus arm position. We're going to do a couple of cobras. So inhaling up, feeling those shoulders tuck back and in together. And exhale, set it down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Don't forget to engage the core. You're also lifting that belly button off the floor. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do everything again on the other side. So push up and bring the right foot forward, finding that runner's lunge. And we're inhaling the tall spine. And exhale, let those hips sag or drop down towards the earth. Now planting the knee, coming up off the hands here, getting nice and comfy before untucking the toes and reaching back. Can you grab that foot and try to bring that left side of the body forward? Left shoulders trying to come forward, left hips trying to come forward. So everything is nice and horizontal. Very good. Now coming back on down to the belly. I'm going to do the pec stretch on the other side. So bringing the hand out to the side and then rolling slowly over. Just enough until you really start to feel that stretch in through the shoulder head and the front side of the chest. From here, we're going to come back to center and do 3 more of those cactus arm cobras. Putting them out at the sides, engage the abs, lifting the belly, and then inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale up and exhale. Very good. Now let's push up and back into our down dog. Looking up on the inhale and exhale, stepping up. Inhale, halfway rise and exhale, fold. Inhale, root in through those feet, lift the hands up, slight back bend at the top, and mountain. Now is when we are going to use our strap. So if you guys have one, before we get started in this next flow, let's go ahead and make a loop with our strap. So take your 2 D-rings here and go ahead and put the end through both sides and then in between only 1, so that you guys have a nice tight loop. Now obviously we don't need it this big because what we're going to be doing, strapping it around our foot, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. So make that loop just a little bit smaller. Something about this size. Now I'm going to hold on to my D-ring so that my loop doesn't change in size with the movement we've got going on here. And in your mountain pose, I want you to lift and kind of pull that strap apart. Hands should be about shoulders distance apart. And lift it up. Really feel that stretch through the arms, through the shoulders, and then down. One more time. And down. Now let's take our hands further apart, maybe a little bit further than Matt's distance, and we'll bring it up and we're going to floss it sort of behind us. So can we kind of work on those muscles that are back by the shoulders, really trying to awaken a lot of that stuff we haven't quite hit yet. Very good. Now let's go ahead and drop that over to the left side of our mat. Inhale up and sit into our chair. Inhale and exhale, fold. Vinyasa here if you want to push back into down dog or go into your chaturanga up dog. Meeting in down dog, let's go ahead and lift the left foot up and bring it on through. Grab your strap, coming up for crescent. So hips are going to be pointed toward the front of the mat, hands up for crescent. Let's really sink in here. You want to feel that stretch in through the right hip flexor. Now let's bring the hands a little bit wide. We are going to continue to do some of that flossing on the shoulders. And you can kind of do what I'm doing where you do one side and then the other, or maybe you do both of them together. Whatever's best for you. All right, now we're going to lean forward, and that little strap I told you to make, I want you to try to place it around your foot, somewhere around the ball of your foot. We don't really want it on the arch per se. Then let's see if we can tighten it up just a little bit. Now, if you can't do this because this is a lot of balance, obviously bring your back knee down. We don't want you falling over here just trying to put a strap on your foot. Okay, now you're gonna wanna hold this strap in the left hand and step on up. What we're gonna do here is try to find dancer's pose. So grabbing that strap with the left hand, bringing the foot up and back. Hands are gonna go up overhead, finding some balance or a spot on the wall, and just slowly pull that foot up towards your hands. Maybe leaning out just a little bit. Can you tighten or shorten your strap? Maybe some people can even get all the way down to their foot. Not me, at least not yet. So that's what we're working on for this sun bee flow. Now you can go ahead and remove that strap, put it over to the right side. And when you are unhooked, inhale the hands up. And sit back into your chair. Inhale, tall spine, tuck the hips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, tall spine. Exhale, plant the hands, your vinyasa here. And once we are in downward facing dog, we're gonna do everything again on the right side. So bring the right leg up and step it on through. Before you stand up, grab your strap, hands up. Let's sit into this crescent to give our left hip flexor a moment of stretch here before we go into strapping up our right foot. Maybe you want to bring the hands out wide. Do a little bit more flossing. Maybe you've noticed that kind of helped when we did dancers, getting that back a little bit more awake, as it is a back bend. Oh, very good. Now, come on down and let's put that strap on the right foot. Let's bring our strap over to the right side because you're gonna take it in your right hand. Step on forward. Find your balance first. Before lifting that foot, bringing the strap, that right hand up and overhead, trying to find your dancers. Finding your balance, leveling out. Maybe you can shorten it just a little bit. Oh, very good. Now we're gonna do the King Pigeon pose. So come on down to your mat. You can keep your foot, if you'd like, in your little strap. What we're gonna do, send that right foot back, bring the left foot up. For pigeon, if you need your blocks at this time is when you're gonna want them. Place one under your sitting bones so that we're keeping our hips nice and level or parallel. We don't wanna sink off into one side. So blocks are always a good idea. Now that we've got pigeon, we're really feeling that stretch in through the iliopsoas. We've got the piriformis stretching here. Before we go into our king version. Now, if this is too much of a stretch for you, you are more than welcome to just stay here, hands planted, nice and comfortable. You can try to lift the hands up, using the block as sort of a place to sit, place to rest, keeping the hands up overhead. That's another variation. Or if you would like to give it an attempt, grab your right hand or the strap in your right hand and see if we can get that foot close to our hands. Now, some people are super flexible. They can get their foot all the way in their hand and hold this king pigeon. Not all of us are there yet. We're working on it. So let's try it again on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my block so I get a chance to put my strap on my left foot. And then swing that left foot back once it's got the strap on it. Bring that right foot forward. Sit in that pigeon for just a moment. You want your blocks? Put them in place. Okay. Now, once again, remember your body is asymmetrical, no matter how much you think it might be the same. So this side could be easier, could be a little bit more tight than the other. So maybe one side you can do one variation. I'm going to remind you what they are, just in case this side is very different. So stay here with your hands on the ground. Maybe you're up. Hands could be up overhead. Or if you're feeling up and ready for it, grab that strap in the left hand. Bring it up and overhead. And let's see if you can get your hands a little bit closer to your foot. All right, now let you kind of finish playing with that. I'm gonna take my strap, put it off to the side, get rid of my blocks, as the next part that we're gonna be entering is a cool down. So when you're ready, come onto your sitting bones. We're gonna just do a seated forward fold. So feet about hips distance apart, toes back towards your shins, lift the hands up overhead, and lead with the heart, lead with the chest toward the toes. Once you've hit your max, drop the hands, drop the neck. Try not to round through the shoulders. Very good, coming on up. Let's go ahead and lay down on our mat. We're gonna find happy baby. So bring the feet up. Have your hands on the pinky toe sides of the foot and try to pull those knees down closer to the ground. If you like a little bit of dynamic here, you can get a little bit of a massage for your back if you rock left and right, maybe a little up and down. All right, coming back to stillness, let's keep the feet together, but tee the arms out wide. Send the knees over to the left for a JT twist. And then inhale back to center, over to the other side. Inhale back to center. And then let's come into corpse, come into our Shavasana for today. I like to roll my shoulder blades a little bit further behind me. Really trying to drop the shoulders away from the ears. Now let's scan the body. Can you loosen the eyebrows? Loosen the tension there. Loosen your jaw. Dropping the shoulders. Focusing on the breath, inhaling through the nose, following the breath down the throat into the lungs, expanding with the belly. Continuing down the body, do the hips feel a little bit more loose? Maybe the quads aren't as tight as when we started. And hopefully the feet are still feeling okay after being all tied up. King Pigeon is a pose that I love and hope to one day master without a strap. The great thing about yoga is that you can always get better. You are always striving for a new pose. You're always continuing to push your body in ways that it doesn't normally, experience every day. So thank you for spending this time with me, trying a new peak pose. Maybe struggling along with me. Let's take one more breath in and let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today in our peak pose of King Pigeon. May your yoga practice continue to thrive.